Drive Studios today here at PAX Day 2. We just played your new game, Blackout Protocol. I just played it for a little bit. Yeah. Way too hard. What are you guys doing?
The foundation of it would be a roguelike gameplay, and then friendly fire is always active, which adds to it, so the difficulty, in a way, is per design.
I thought it was really fun. Unfortunately, you only get like such a little time playing it, so I had all this pressure. I'm like, oh, I want to take my time, I want to inch. But there's you have that clock running in the back of your head. Will we expect an element of that later on during release, or is it going to be just how it is now?
So once the game actually releases, there will not necessarily be a time limit or anything, but the core of the issue would actually be how well the three players cooperate together, and that'll be the key to the game.
Will there be like a penalty? It's like, hey, they're taking too long, just throw more bad guys at them?
That type of additional monster spawns per like time or duration be very dependent on which type of map you're playing on.
Tell me about the inspiration for this game, because it's a lot of like Area 51, Men in Black type thing. Was that your mindset going in, or what was it?
So the core inspiration for the game, Blackout Protocol, was the SCP, the entire SCP Foundation, you know, the creepypasta stuff. In terms of the content, the inspiration actually mainly comes from more classical stuff like Doctor Who, X-File, and the likes of such.
I didn't expect the SCP flavoring to that. That was actually really surprising. Maybe I should have cued in at the very start when the voiceover, but I had my whole narrative in my own head. So when can we expect a full release date? Where can we find this game?
So we are aiming to get the game into early access early next year, 2023. In terms of platforms, PC will be the main, but we're open to, of course, different options. We can't share too much detail yet.
So then early access, so there's no playable demo outside of this one here today?
You are correct that there are no currently playable demos other than the PAX build. Of course, the team is open to prepping one if the need arises, but for now, PAX is the only only opportunity to play the game as is at the moment.
I'm for sure going to play the demo when you do drop one, because I need to beat this. It's a lot of fun. So tell us about your company, though. Like, you have Blackout Protocol. What other titles do you have in the works?
Ocean Drive Studio has its first project, Lost Eidolons. It's a tactical turn-based RPG, and then Blackout Protocol is our second project, developed by a smaller team compared to Lost Eidolons. So we have those. How's
PAX treating you? Are you guys having a great time here? How's the reception been with everybody?
Dongsu is really enjoying PAX being very lively, because it's not static, or like it's not people are watching just gameplay and moving on. They're actually getting to play the game and react to it. The players themselves are reacting to it. He's getting to see that himself, so he finds the PAX environment very dynamic and lively, and is having a great time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
What's going on, guys? I'm here at Rogue. They've got an awesome display here. I'm with Matt. You are
the founder and CEO.
He's both. He does everything. Okay, and even plays the games too. Matt, tell us a little bit about the company.
Yeah, so Rogue we founded about pushing 3 years ago now, and the idea is we just want to build a super cool label of games that folks want to play. It's just that simple. So we're building this together, inspired by folks like Raw Fury, Devolver, Annapurna, some of the guys out there who I think are killing it. And so hopefully you're seeing with our lineup that we're starting to build our own portfolio that feels hopefully distinct from everybody else.
I definitely noticed the draw that you guys are having here. People are lining up to play the games. People are talking about the games. Like I walked around, some people are talking about the game. What are some of the games here on display?
So we brought 5 games officially to PAX, and that include Dust and Neon, which is this twin-stick shooter we just announced. Really cool. And we've got The Last Case of Benedict Fox, which I think you guys may have seen as an Xbox exclusive. We've got Cookie Cutter, this amazing sort of techno-pop Metroidvania set in the sci-fi future. We've got Sea Frog. That is a hybrid Metroidvania and a skateboarding game. And then we've got Sprawl, which is a really badass movement-based first-person shooter.
Which one's your favorite?
Man, you can't pick those. That's a tough one. I really will say that I have different things that I like about each game. Right now, I'm really loving the control of Dust and Neon, loving the visuals of The Last Case of Benedict Fox, loving the speed of Sprawl, loving the punk rockness of Cookie Cutter, and I'm loving the wholesomeness of Sea Frog. So I've got little things I love about all of them.
So you mentioned Benedict being on Xbox. What about the other games? Are they on their way, or are they already on a platform?
Sure, right now, the standard line, we're just saying consoles and PC for everything. But I will say Rogue's philosophy is to bring all games to every system.
What about Nintendo Switch?
That includes Switch. Yeah.
Those games look really highly portable to play.
Listen, we're huge Nintendo fans, and we intend to bring our games over to Switch for sure. Yeah.
And if people want to get more information on you guys, where can they go?
Just go over to our Twitter, rogue_co. You can go to rogueco.com as well and check us out. Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Make sure to go check out Rogue. They got awesome games. I got to play some of them, and that Benedict game you're talking about. Yeah, it looks amazing. So go check that out.
All right, I'm here with Adam of Archon Games, based out of Boulder, Colorado. They actually have 2 board games here today at PAX. Tell us about this first one that we're at the table for.
This is Nexus Infernal. It is a necromantic resource management game where you are using skeletal minions to harvest arcane energy from portals so that you can make pacts with demons in the race to become the most blasphemous in the realm.
So take us through the process of this title first.
Sure.
Where did you come from when it came to starting off in the concept? Like, did you have one idea, it's like, oh, let's do this, and as you developed, it went a radically different direction, or did you stay on track the whole time?
For us, we're always looking at mechanics in games that we think are interesting. So resource management, having a board where you feel like there's an interaction and story taking place are very important. So mechanically, we were very interested in the idea of trying to find a way to make pacts with demons to make your powers work out. So from there, we're just looking for mechanics that make you feel like you have agency, that there's always something going on in the game. So, that takes a lot of work. There's a lot of iterations that aren't necessarily fun at first, but as soon as something sticks, you just run with it and just keep building on it.
Now, I was told by your coworker, this is actually a smaller set piece within a much larger world for your other title, which is about, from what I understand, you run a cult, you're competing with other cults, you're trying to get a boon from your deity.
Yes.
Until the apocalypse comes.
Yes. Yeah, so Eschaton, a deck building strategy game for 2 to 6 players. You're a cult leader in a world that stands on the brink of Armageddon. This game is set in the capital of that realm called the Citadel, and your cults are spreading out across various territories, trying to conquer them, collect relics, summon fiends, do everything in your power before the end of the world. You want yours to be the one worthy cult to rule the smoldering aftermath.
And I know you also have one of 13, or is it one of 12 modules for some other standalones that you could use with any dice system you desire. And that's going to take place on an island in the southeast region of your map?
Right, so the Isle of Storms. We're developing role-playing game content for our dark fantasy world. Our first one's called Dread Shores and Black Horizons. It just wrapped up on Kickstarter. We have some copies here at the con. And that is totally system neutral. You can play it with whatever game system you want, 5e, Mercboard, whatever works for you. It's a purely narrative module that is 36 pages. We give you maps, character ideas, various encounter ideas, everything to get you going to play around a 4 to 6 hour session of the game.
And so when it comes to making these 3 titles, did you have these 2 in particular working in tandem, or did you do one at a time?
Eschaton came first. We kickstarted Eschaton in 2015, 2016. We were just planning on making it as a handmade game, so we were doing screen-printed components, everything handmade. Didn't expect to sell more than a couple hundred copies over the course of a couple years, and it just blew up for us. And so we were really passionate about the idea of building out this dark fantasy world, and as the excitement grew around it, as we got more excited about it, we decided to continue developing it.
So now that you have these modules coming out, what's the release schedule like for that? Every 3 months, every 6, every year? What's the plan?
So we're still working that out. We're thinking that probably as we go into 2023, we're looking to do monthly or every 2 months a new release for more role-playing game content, possibly more on top of that, because it's a world that we really want to develop. We're starting out with this concept of building out the various territories, giving people an insight into the places that they're already familiar with, and then going from there.
So it's really exciting that you have this roadmap of what you want to do with all these different regions in your world. What can we expect at the climax of all of this?
So once we get through these modules, we're building out this as totally system neutral. We have a rule set that we have in mind that will really support the game, give you ideas into mechanics that support the fear and terror, investigation, magic systems that we're very excited about. But we also want this to be open and available to everyone. So once we get through these role-playing game modules and maps and encounter ideas, look forward to some really cool core books after that.
And can we find these just on your website? Are they in retail stores? Can you find it on, Drive RPG?
So it's very, very fresh right now. We're going to have that on archongames.net. That's our site, our web store. We'll also be announcing these on Kickstarter all the time. We might be going into Patreon as well, but that's to be determined. A lot of it's just unfolding as we get there.
And what's the next convention we can find you at?
Right now it's going to be PAX Unplugged, so we're really excited about that. We're going to have a 400 square foot booth, just a huge stock of games and a lot of cool stuff going on.
It's really exciting. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.